Hey, welcome back to my channel. So it's 4:30. I just got out the shower. I didn't start my fast today because I went to Starbucks and it's like always be prepared. So I packed a small little lunch. I ate it and then I was there maybe like an hour and a half and then I left. I was planning on being there all day, but it didn't work out that way. So I decided I'm gonna start my fast tomorrow and I'm only gonna drink water and tea. So I have two different tea bags in here. I have an apple green tea by Queen's Jubilee Collection, London, England. And then my chamomile and lavender by Traditional Medicinals. And then like there's a quote on the Traditional Medicinals. It says, "One thorn of experience is worth a whole wilderness of warning," by James Russell Lowell. So I'm mixing the teas. I was hoping that I had honey, but I don't have honey. That's why I was like, well, like, let me mix the tea, right? So I also have these teas, vitamin C, and then an herbal tea, sleepy time. I think most herbal teas are sleep teas. So I'm just gonna be drinking tea for this whole month. You can see how bloated I am. I've been taking a lot of showers lately. I've been taking like 3 showers a day just because it helps with my bloating. I'm able to release gas. I'm burping. I didn't pass gas today, but I'm burping. I'm able to release gas. I'm having like movement and stuff. I already went for a walk earlier this morning, so I'm not gonna go. I might go again tonight. But I'm gonna drink this tea. Because I've drinking tea, like I remember when I was younger, like a teenager, I would eat salad with no dressing. And I would drink tea with no sugar, no lemon, no honey, no nothing. And I would do that like for a while because I remember I would be on punishment a lot. So I was able to like grow like really good habits, like discipline type of habits. And I'm still like that. But I noticed like I have a really bad sweet tooth right now. So I'm feeling like, okay, if I drink some tea and I make it consistent, I can get rid of this feeling of like wanting to eat excessively. And then hopefully lose weight. My goal weight is 130 pounds. I think I'm like 180, 190 right now. So if I can get down to 130 pounds in the next like 2-3 months, then I'm gonna be so happy. I remember when I liked this guy at work, I think I was 160 pounds and then I had lost 10 pounds. And I'm always like, oh, I wish I could be 140 pounds. I had got down to 150 and I was like looking really skinny. And somebody at work was like, oh my gosh, I thought you were the one that passed out. Because, you know, people pay attention more than you think. People pay attention. And I was like, oh no, like what the heck? Because I would be at that vending machine eating snacks, those little Mexican bread muffins. Ooh, I was tearing those things up. But yeah, I mixed these 2 tea bags. So hopefully it's like a good combination. And it might help me I took a nap earlier, but I don't even know for how long my nap was. It's been like that lately. Like, I don't know how long I've been napping for. But I need to figure out something to do to not think negatively. Because once I start thinking about my kids, like I'll start thinking about them and then I'll start doing something else. And then like all of a sudden my thoughts of them turn into something negative. So I don't even know like how sometimes like my thoughts do that. Or how it sounds like sometimes I'm talking out loud and I'm not. So I'm just like when I had that moment this morning where I was like, oh, maybe the guy liked me. I'm like, I'm in no way, shape, or form prepared to be in a relationship because of like the baggage that I carry. Like my presence affects people. I'm surprised, like, I don't go to jail for something like that. But it's like they can't put you in jail for anything like that. It's just like something that has got to be figured out. Hopefully I can get famous off YouTube with it. That's why it's like, I feel like the more people know about me, maybe the better, but I don't know. It's not bad. I'm not sure how long I should have this, like, sit in the water. It's probably been about 5 minutes now. But this is how it looks. Like, so it's not that dark. Maybe if I have it, like, a little bit darker, it'll be better, but I don't know. But I mean, I got sure I put socks on my feet because yesterday I scrubbed the bottoms of my feet. I put lotion. So it's like smooth. It still looks like, ooh, you need to get your feet done. But at least it don't feel like I need to get my feet done. You feel me? I got this bra from Victoria's Secret and these underwear. Like, I have a Victoria's Secret credit card. It's only got $250 on it. It's been like that for the past, like, 10 years. $250. You feel me? I'm gonna drink these teas. I want to try all of them. So it's like a container. This one is lemon green tea, which is probably like really bomb. This one is gray tea. Breakfast tea is probably good. Chamomile tea, apple green, and then green tea. Green tea is just like exceptional. See, I just burped right now. It smells so bad. It really does. My friend's coming over, so I want to watch a movie. You're gonna come over, we're gonna watch a movie, we're gonna cuddle. I gotta brush. The other day I woke up, I kept waking up during the middle of the night, but it was like probably like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I brushed my teeth. You know how some people have OCD, like, you're not gonna catch me with no bad body odor. Like, I'm gonna brush my teeth in the middle of the night, and then when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna brush my teeth again, I'm gonna gargle. Like, I'm gonna take 3 showers a day. Like, 1 before I go to bed, 1 when I wake up. And whenever you take like a cool shower, you're not gonna sweat. You're gonna be able to control your body odor. Because as long as you can control your body temperature, you can control your body odor. And like, really, it's mindset. Because just think, I feel like a lot of times, like, the way we get our skin complexion is through our mindset. Like, it's crazy. Because why do you think that we have, like, Eastern Asians that are darker, but they still have, like, European type hair? You know, it's like I don't know. I think that's it's a thing for Black people, like, good hair and stuff. But now good hair really is just like, oh, did you get your hair done? Is your hair done? It's not like the texture. If you got good texture hair, it's kind of like, ooh, you know, we embrace that. You know, if our sons have like good textured hair, moms, we're gonna grow. We're gonna let that shit grow. You gonna be having your man buns. Cause I see a lot of attractive men with a lot of hair, and I'm just like, ooh, you so attractive. Like, I remember when I worked at Shamrock. I always bring up Shamrock, but at my old job, there's this guy. I think he was the only Black guy there. Not the only Black guy there, but the only Black guy like that worked in the office. But he was like mixed. And he'd have his ponytail, and he was just very handsome. Like, he had like a nice body type, and like he'd wear his pants really nice. He was just really handsome. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was very much attracted to him. Through the years, I found out that, yes, I am very much attracted to Black men. I'm attracted to like many types of men. I really am. I'm gonna warm this up a little bit hotter. But I think I left this in here long enough. I'm gonna like squeeze all this stuff. I feel like if it's a little bit hotter, then it'll be better for my digestive system. Because lately I've been drinking a lot of cold water. I have 5 really cool ideas for videos, but I have to like be able to do my makeup and stuff. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I want to wait until I do my finish my monthly reset. But kind of like how time is looking with my YouTube channel, I need to post, because on my description it says that I post daily and weekly, and I haven't even posted anything in 2 months. But I did post a video today, a 3-minute video today. I'm gonna warm it up more. You keep on making it seem like I crawled into a dream. Are you so toxic? Why are you so toxic to me? What does that mean? Lucky Day is my favorite artist right now. His music video, Over, I just love it. The girl is Kylie Jenner's like old best friend. I think Jordan something. I forgot her name. But she's just so exceptionally beautiful. Her hair looked beautiful. Like she had on her white, like, I don't know, like what type of dress it was. I don't know if it's like 1700s. But it's kind of like the dress that they wear under those totalitarian dresses, the dictatorship dresses, you feel me? Look at my back acne. So I really want to do a TCA peel, but I have to wait until I start making money on YouTube. When I get my first check, I'm going to make a video about it. And then I'm also going to do a TCA peel, because all this got to go, okay? Yeah, I feel like the hotter it is, a little bit better. Because it wasn't even steaming. It was just like kind of like warm tea. But if it's hot, then it's better. Okay, I've been talking too much. Let's get it, let's get it. Let's get it, let's get it, YouTube. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, okay? Since I'm using my front camera, I decided to record in cinematic mode. I'm reading this book, How to Change Your Mind, by Michael Pollan. It's a book about psychedelics, dying, addiction, and transcendence. So, things that I've been going through most recently was I experienced REM sleep, which is sleep paralysis. Is when you're conscious, but you can't move, but you are still asleep. I experienced that. And the one and only time I experienced it before that was, I think I was in high school, like my junior or senior year in high school. Or maybe I was a sophomore, junior, senior year. And I think you experience REM sleep when you're under high stress, when you're having like mental breakdowns, and you just don't feel like yourself, basically. So the other day I experienced it a couple nights ago, and it was the worst. So it was scary. It's like I couldn't breathe, and I felt a presence on me. But this time, the first time the presence is like a black figure, but this time the presence was someone that I knew. But yeah, I don't really want to get into that, because I'm trying to get away from spirituality, like angel numbers, like good luck stuff. I'm trying to get away from like overthinking and anxiety and stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna drink this tea. I'm gonna start reading this book again. So what I did the other day, I started reading in the middle. I read a few chapters, and now I'm going back to the very beginning so that I can catch up to where I left off. So I'm starting in the beginning so I can reach the middle where I started, if that makes sense. I got this pen from the mall. It's just like a really cute pen. It's a really cute pen. Come on, you stupid ass iPhone camera. Oh, finally. But it's just like a really cute pen. It's like, it's my favorite pen. It's like my only pen that I'm using right now. And I've been like taking a lot of notes and stuff. So I'm going through things right now because I was in jail for 2 months, right? Not even 2 months, 50 days. And I missed one of my housing authority initiations, so I got canceled, but it's for an area that I didn't want to move to anyways. A job offer with Amazon Flex, which I used to do years ago. It's good money. It's delivering packages. And I remember I had got an email saying that someone like left a really good review for me, because man, let me tell you, when I be out there working, I be working. I works. So I be making the most of my day, and I don't be trying to like lollygag. I don't be throwing motherfuckers packages. I set it out the door. I take the picture. I run back to my car. I have all my stuff organized. I don't know how, but from the very first day that I started Amazon Flex, I just got it. I got it down. All my packages that was art, like I have like really good memorization. So some like addresses I'm able to like memorize. Like I don't know what it is, but I just like know like, okay, this is where that package is. And then when you're scanning through packages too, you're also able to memorize that stuff too. So some jobs are like easy, you feel me? But anyways, I forgot the point that I was making. But so I'm just trying to catch back up with life. The fact that I'm even talking about it, my mom would shame me and my father would shame me. But my father doesn't even know. The only thing I'm looking forward to right now is my birthday, which is in 4 days or 5 days. And my father will probably send me some money. He might send me $60 or $100. And I need it because I need to get a new ID. And I need to figure out my phone situation. You feel me? So I'm gonna drink this tea. I'm gonna read this book. Ooh, shit, that shit was hot. That shit was hot. My lips are so chapped right now. I need to put some Vaseline on my lips. I'll be back. So when I got tired of reading How to Change Your Mind, What the New Science of Psychedelics Teaches Us About Consciousness, Dying, Addiction, Depression, and Transcendence, I stopped reading it because I needed a break. And when you be doing reading, you be needing to take breaks. You be needing to like walk around. Like real talk. I started reading this book. It's called A Woman's Place, and it's more of like a real story. Like it's gonna paint me a picture throughout the whole book. This one I had to build my intelligence. Okay, this is like an intelligence builder. But this book is about this woman that works for a tech company, and they're experiencing sexual harassment, and they're trying to find out who it is. So right now they're like at a restaurant or a cafe, her and some other women, and they're like, oh, we think it's this person and this person, or this person or this person. And now they're all like, one of the other women is like, no, I don't think it's so-and-so. I really like him. He always asks me about my mom and my daughter and all this stuff. So I'm gonna be surprised to find out who it is, because one thing I'm thinking it's the higher up. I forgot what the woman's name, but she works for a different part of the company, but she's like a VP. I have a feeling like it might be her. Like, you wrenches, you guys need to like, but it's a lot of drama. I'm already on chapter 6. It's a lot of drama. It's a lot of drama. Like what the fuck? Like, and then I started reading this one at the bookstore. Like I've started reading this one on and off. I just can't, I couldn't really like concentrate on it. Like the fact that I go through like these spells of like trauma, like even when I'm out in public. I don't know if it has to do with me being like antisocial or nervous around people, but my brain pays an exuberant amount of attention to like everything that I don't want it to pay attention to. But I just want to read this part really quick. It says, people are shocked at the beginning of my seminars when one of the first things I tell them is, don't believe a word I say. Why would I suggest that? Because I can only speak from my own experience. And I just felt like that was like so heartfelt and so heartwarming for me, because everyone experiences different things, and the fact that you're able to talk about it, and some people do an exceptionally very like an exceptional job explaining and talking about their experience, and I want to be like that. Like sometimes I ramble and I talk about so many different things, and it's like, girl, what's the point? Or I keep on like saying like the same things over and over again. Is because I've thought about saying what I want to say. I practice talking about it sometimes. I even talk to myself as if I'm doing a YouTube video. So, and it's like taking a toll on me. It really has, because I haven't been getting anything done, and I'm already 31. I'll be 32. So I'm experiencing things like that. But yeah, so I'm going to read a little bit of this. I'm going to see what part. I think the beginning part is about LSD. When I got to the middle, it was about mushrooms and the history of mushrooms and where it came from, and like what's thought about it, what people think about it today. So the first one is the prologue, A New Door. Chapter 1 is A Renaissance. Chapter 2 is Natural History, Be Mushroomed, Coda. Chapter 3 is History, The First Wave, The Promise, The Crack Up, and Coda. Chapter 4 is the Travelogue, Journeying Underground. Trip 1, LSD. Trip 2, psilocybin. Trip 3, 5-meo DMT. I've heard of DMT. That was like something that became popular. Chapter 5, the neuroscience, your brain on psychedelics. Chapter 6, the trip treatment, psychedelics, and psychotherapy. 1, dying. 2, addiction. 3, depression. And then Coda, going to meet my default mode network. And then the epilogue, in praise of neurodiversity. So obviously I'm looking forward to chapter 5 and chapter 6. Chapter 6, especially because it specifically is going to be talking about dying, addiction, and depression. And I'm experiencing all 3 of those. Addiction because I smoke tobacco, dying because I have stage 1 cancer, and 3, depression because I'm an absent mom. I can't keep a job. I can't maintain a job. I'm experiencing things with people where it's like they might decide like, yo, no, that's you doing that. I'm gonna beat your ass. But it's not me doing anything particularly on purpose. I'm not doing anything. It's just my presence. And then something else is going on. I don't know if they're starting to like hear things as well, but it's not my fault. It's really not. It's the Jesus that I met. The 3D real dimensional Jesus, okay? But yeah. Quick, I'm gonna read this part to you. Okay, so it says, the quantities of LSD measured in micrograms could produce symptoms resembling psychosis, inspired brain scientists to search for the neurochemical basis of mental disorders previously believed to be psychological in origin. At the same time, psychedelics found their way into psychotherapy, where they were used to treat a variety of disorders, including alcoholism, anxiety, and depression. For most of the 1950s and early 1960s, many in the psychiatric establishment regarded LSD and psilocybin as miracle drugs. The arrival of these 2 compounds is also linked to the rise of the counterculture during the 1960s, and perhaps especially to its particular tone and style. Because it's kind of crazy, like, okay, in order to heal my mental disorder that I have, I'm not going to take medication necessarily, like doctor prescribed normal medication. I'm going to go and do some LSD or some psilocybin, because the psilocybin I think is in mushrooms. So it's just kind of like, whoa, you know, because it could be like, because when I read later in the book, it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Like, bad thing, like it could kill you. A good thing, it could like relieve you of your anxiety and depression. How often you have to do it, I'm not sure. I don't think you have to do it too often, but I know like you can probably tell when you need to do it. Real shit. I had a bad experience doing dabbing. And I felt like I had an out-of-body experience. I was going through a lot of stress at work, and I was having a lot of like kind of like Matrix moments with this guy at work. He's very attractive, like my type of like turn on, you know. And ever since then, it was just I've been having to concentrate on a certain thing and keep my head down, basically, like not pay attention to people. And now I have to get back to not paying attention to people. Like, I have to live my life like that. I don't know what it's called yet, but I'm gonna find out. But it's not fun. It's really not. Like, when I'm around my friends, I've had experiences where, with my friends and with my family, like, as if I'm gonna pass out, like I have no energy and I'm just laid out, like, not high off anything, like maybe the smell of weed is what did it to me. Like, my brain is very sensitive to certain things. Like, I could literally say I'm high, right? And like my brain believes it, and then I'm kind of walking around like kind of high. Like, the brain is very powerful. That's why I have to be very careful with it. That's why it's like right now I was kind of speaking loudly. I need to learn to like not speak loudly, drink tea, like really become that type of person. So, yeah. Okay, that's why I decided that I'm going to start reading this book, because I feel like as I'm going through some of these things just by picking up the book. So it's like, if I'm going through things and my brain is very prone and sensitive to like so much, like things that I look at, then I know like I'm gonna be experiencing things from this book. So right now, I just read, it says, the dark side of psychedelics began to receive tremendous amounts of publicity. Bad trips, psychotic breaks, flashbacks, suicides, and beginning in 1965, the exuberance surrounding these new drugs gave way to moral panic. I experienced a lot of moral panic with my kids, with myself. If I could tell you the moral panics, I want to be able to like be so comfortable talking about it. So hopefully, like maybe a few months from now, I can be able to express that to my YouTube family, like what my moral panics are at this point in my life, why I want to move, why I feel like the best way for me to make money is to build off what I already have my focus on, like what I've already put so much hope into, what I've already put a lot of energy into, and it's YouTube. So believe it or not, I've put a lot of energy into it, even though I haven't been consistent with posting videos, or my videos aren't like, oh my gosh, like these wonderful, spectacular videos. I've still put a lot of effort, a lot of thought, a lot of back and forth into it. So now, right now, I'm at the point of like, I'm moving forward, and I get like this, like I'm not gonna think too much about the video. I'm gonna record what I need to record and then go from there. But reading does help me so far of what I've learned, because I've read books in the past and I've never had psychosis, or like I've been able, like yesterday I was at Starbucks, and after a while I had a hard time concentrating, like I couldn't read, and it's like, dang, I'm starting to go through that now. My brain is kind of like fucked, and like it doesn't have anything to do with it has to do with like things that I get angry about, things that become a burden for me, basically. So I'll talk more about it and stuff in later videos. But yeah, so far so good. And I mean so far so good, like I'm understanding it. Quick. I'm gonna read this. And this is like low-key an experience that I had at work where psychosis and anxiety comes from like you feel like people are following you. And following me, you think like, you know, like I'm walking around and someone's following me. That, or they're copying the things that I'm doing physically, or they're like also like copying, like, you know, like people follow trends and stuff, like that stuff too. And I would go through that at my old job that I worked at. But I want to read this really quick. It says, I must have been in junior high school when a scientist reported, mistakenly as it turned out, that LSD scrambled your chromosomes. The entire media, as well as my health ed teacher, made sure we heard all about it. A couple of years later, the television personality Art Linkletter began campaigning against LSD, which he blamed for the fact that his daughter had jumped out of an apartment window killing herself. LSD supposedly has something to do with the Manson murders too. By the early 1970s, when I went to college, everything you heard about LSD seemed calculated to terrify. It worked on me. I'm less a child of the psychedelic 1960s than of the moral panic the psychedelics provoked. This guy at my job wore a Marilyn Manson shirt the same day as I wore a Jesus Crucified shirt that I got from I forgot where I got this shirt from, but it was like a new brand that I heard about, and I ordered the shirt the same day he wore his. We were in the same line. It was kind of like, oh, we're having a head up. And at this time, I was like really into like not doing my 40 days and 40 nights necessarily, but that's just what it turned into. Like reading God's word and reading God's word every day. And pretty soon it's like, oh my gosh, I've been reading God's word every day, really involved and in love with it for more than 40 days. And then I had that experience at work, and I didn't deal with it the best way that I could possibly deal with it. But I know that I was under a lot of anxiety. I was terrified. I was just going through a lot. That was a very bad day for me. And other people experienced that. I could look at other people and tell like, yo, everyone's tripping right now. Everyone's going on a trip. Real shit. And if you can believe it, like, do you think that LSD could be a part of an atmosphere? I so honestly do believe that. Unfortunately. So, and I feel like a lot of it goes past your beliefs, which is actually a good thing, because then at least it's controllable. It's a controllable substance, or it's just a controllable thing. I'm gonna say that. But yeah. I'm gonna read this part too. It says, let me start off with this part real quick. Years later, in my late 20s and feeling more settled, I did try magic mushrooms 2 or 3 times. A friend had given me a mason jar full of dried gnarly psilocybes. Hopefully I'm saying that word correctly. And on a couple of memorable occasions, my partner, now wife, Judith, and I choked down 2 or 3 of them, endured a brief wave of nausea, and then sailed off on 4 or 5 interesting hours in the company of each other and what felt like a wonderfully italicized version of the familiar reality. Psychedelic, it's kind of like a fiction, but it's like aficionados would probably categorize what we had as a low-dose aesthetic experience rather than a full-blown ego disinterrogating trip. We certainly didn't take leave of the known universe or have what anyone would call a mystical experience, but it was still really interesting. What I particularly remember was the preternatural vividness of the greens in the woods, and in particular the velvety chartreuse softness of the ferns. I was gripped by a powerful compulsion to be outdoors, undressed, and as far from anything made of metal or plastic as it was possible to get. Because we were alone in the country, this was all doable. So just think, like, some people do shrooms, maybe most people do shrooms, and they're able to have a really good experience from it because they don't have negative, like, bad thinking. But think of people that actually, like, if I'm going through that, I'd be having like negative bad thinking, but is it, if I do shrooms, is it automatic that I'm gonna have like light, free, beautiful thinking, or am I gonna be experiencing like, that's why it's like you can have a bad trip, like have negative thinking, or you can feel like you're having negative thinking. It might not, you might not be conscious of it. So you just feel like you're having bad negative thinking, which it might actually be something else. But if I could like go to the doctors and like have a CT scan done on my brain and just certain things, because there's certain things that I also go through where I'm like, ooh, you know, this is like, yo, but like luckily I've been able to like low-key kind of forget about it. But it's kind of like, if I'm forgetting about it, am I really forgetting about it, or is my thoughts actually going somewhere else? Which I don't want that. I don't want it to be a door, you feel me? So yeah. But really quick, it says, I don't recall much about a follow-up trip on a Saturday in Riverside Park in Manhattan, except that it was considerably less enjoyable and unself-conscious, with too much time spent wondering if other people could tell that we were high. I didn't know it at the time, but the difference between these two experiences of the same drug demonstrated something important and special about psychedelics: the critical influence of set and setting. Set is the mindset or expectation one brings to the experience, and setting is the environment in which it takes place. Compared with other drugs, psychedelics seldom affect people the same way twice because they tend to magnify whatever's already going on both inside and outside one's head. After those 2 brief trips, the mushroom jar lived in the back of our pantry for years, untouched. The thought of giving over a whole day to a psychedelic experience had come to seem inconceivable. We were working long hours at new careers, and those vast swaths of unallocated time that college or unemployment affords had become a memory. Now another, very different kind of drug was available, one that was considerably easier to weave into the fabric of a Manhattan career. Cocaine! Hey! It's New Year's now. Let's get it. Let's get it. The snowy white powder made the wrinkled brown mushroom seem dowdy, unpredictable, and overly demanding. Cleaning out the kitchen cabinets one weekend, we stumbled upon the forgotten jar and tossed it in the trash, along with the exhausted spices and expired packages of food. Fast forward 3 decades, and I really wish I hadn't done that. I'd give a lot to have a whole jar of magic mushrooms now. I've begun to wonder if perhaps these remarkable molecules might be wasted on the young, that they may have more to offer us later in life, after the cement of our mental habits and everyday behaviors has set. Carl Jung once wrote that it is not the young, but people in middle age who need to have an experience of the numinous to help them negotiate the second half of their lives. And I feel like I'm at that point in my life now. I'm 31. I don't have a brain of a mother right now. A lot of my free time right now is reading, cleaning up, taking showers, really like being in the present moment. So I don't really plan a lot. I do write down things that are necessarily on my mind, but I don't spend a lot of time planning things out, and that would be like kind of a lot of stress on me, just because of how my family is dealing with me and how my kids look at me now. Like, my kids are very mature for their age because of what I'm going through. So yes. But it's like, it's funny because I know people that have done shrooms before. I've never done shrooms. I've done dabs, which is like a THC wax, which is probably like, I feel like it might be kind of like an LSD experience. Like, I know I had a bad trip on it. and I don't do it anymore. It's because you have to heat it with hot octane gas, like the thing that sparks. It's like a lighter, but it's like you spark it and it's, but it's a high heat, it's high flamed heat fire, and you have to heat it, and then you take the dab, and then it's just like, it's a lot of smoke. It's a lot. And I would only do a little bit, but it's because like, oh, it's THC. It's like, you know, it's a higher high. Like, that shit fucked my brain up. I looked down, I was going through like this, like, oh my gosh, like, and I remember it was in the morning time before I had to go to work, and I had just quit my job. I was wearing my blue and yellow shirt, the same shirt that I had, that me and this guy both had. But now that I'm thinking about it, like, sometimes I wonder if he was actually a real person, which is so scary, because now my reality is not the same. My reality is like so weird. So when I hang out with my friends and stuff, it's like an adjustment. It's like relief, but it's like a kind of like an unknown type of relief. But yeah.